Hi, Quinn. Hi. Can you guys see me? I don't even know. Can you see me okay? I'll pull my shirt up. I feel like I need to crouch down. Hey guys! Today I'm going to be doing, well, I don't know why I'm like making it sound like I do like 1,000 videos because I've never even done a YouTube video. But today I thought I would start it off with something exciting. Some people who know me know that I had an emergency home birth. It was not planned, it happened, but for those of you who don't know or don't know me and I don't know, want to hear like an interesting story about it or kind of get like information on like home birth, listen to the story. It's also a little bit gross, so there's that too. If you get grossed out easily, maybe just don't watch this. This is not the video for you. Also, please ignore my hair. I'm like a level 1000 mom today. This is the best mom bun I've ever done in my life. It's amazing. Anyways, so, oh my god. I'm not even joking, you guys. I've made this video like twice and like since I've never made YouTube videos before, like I have no idea how to do this. Here I am again doing a video. Alright, so anyways, my daughter is currently 3 months old. Well, like almost 3 months old. She was due September 11th. Whatever. Anyway, so it's like 2% of babies come on their due date. And of course she came on her due date. The little poop nugget that she is. Like seriously guys, what is this? What's going on with my hair? I don't know. She was unplanned, but Zach is the love of my life, so we were very, very excited to have her. My brain is like melting. When I was pregnant, I like always knew she was a girl. I was having like dreams she was a girl the whole time. Zach really wanted a boy, but I think now that she's here, Zach is just really happy to have a daughter. I was expecting her to come early for some reason. Like I just had like this feeling the whole pregnancy that she was gonna come like late August, and I'm not exactly sure why. I just kind of did. She kept like measuring ahead, and I know that doesn't really mean anything, but like she's a big baby, so I thought maybe she'd come a little early, but no. And then once I got closer to my due date and she wasn't coming, I was like, okay, she's gonna come late now. I really thought I was gonna go overdue. If you've ever been pregnant and like you go past your due date or like you get really close to your due date, you know the feeling of I'm gonna be pregnant forever. But the reality of it is that you're not gonna be pregnant forever. You will have your baby, don't worry. Your baby will come out either way. On September 9th, I guess I was having contractions. I wasn't really sure what they were. I was just feeling more like the pressure and everything. Like my stomach was getting hard and it was weird because I'm a first time mom, so I've never had contractions obviously before. So I wasn't exactly sure. I just know that I was like really uncomfortable and I couldn't sleep that night. I remember the cats are being so weird behind me. Just please ignore them. Anyway, so I was just uncomfortable. I was in pain, but I wasn't like, I didn't know what was going on really. I just thought it was like normal pregnancy stuff. Like everybody knows that the last like whatever couple of months of pregnancy, you're just like overall uncomfortable for the most part. Like you've got a giant baby inside of you. Like your body is like, if you ever watch like the video of like what a woman's organs do when they're pregnant, like you will understand what I mean when I say like you're just uncomfortable. Like you can't breathe, you can't eat anything, you have heartburn, like you just basically feel like you're dying. But it's fine because you get a baby at the end. So yeah, the next day, I believe I was just having like kind of contractions, stuff like that. And by like the time the evening rolled around, I knew for sure I was having contractions that were actually getting painful. I was drinking like red raspberry leaf tea and bouncing on my ball for like the whole day. I was off work like a week before I had Quinn, so that whole week I was like bouncing on my ball all day long and drinking my tea. I was doing evening primrose oil. Like I was just trying to get everything started because I was just so ready for this baby to come. But she was taking her damn time. Like I said, I thought she was gonna come early. She just stayed in there. She didn't want to come out. Anyways. I say anyways a lot. I should put like all the clips of me saying anyways together, like because it would be hilarious. Anyways, anywho. Oh. By the evening I knew it was like real, it was like hurting, and Zach and I went to the mall to go get more tea and I could not walk through the contractions. Like I remember I picked up the tea and then By the time like we were walking back to the car, I was like, we gotta stop. We got back home that night and I didn't even end up drinking my tea because it was like so late in the day that I was like, okay, I don't want to like start anything. I want to be able to get some rest if I can. That didn't end up happening though because my contractions just like amped up. We ended up calling my midwife. In Canada, we have, well actually I don't know if it's all Canada, but I know in my province, Alberta, we have free midwifery cares. It doesn't cost you anything extra to have a midwife, which is awesome. I really loved having a midwife. My midwife was amazing. She's such a sweetheart. They're so supportive. I will recommend a midwife to anybody. They're really involved in like the birth process and what the mom wants. They really just go based off of like what you want. As long as what you're doing is healthy and okay for you and your baby, they will be there with you every step of the way. They're amazing. They're awesome. My midwife was amazing, specifically. I love her. Anyway, where was I? So we called my midwife and she just asked me about them, how long they were, etc. And she just said like, they're gonna get worse, so just try and get some sleep, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So Zach and I went to bed. Zach fell asleep because he wasn't having any contractions, like some of us around here. He fell right asleep. He sleeps like a rock, so he can sleep through like pretty much anything. And even like now with the baby, like he will sleep through her like screaming. I have no idea how. He just does. He's just good at sleeping. I couldn't sleep because I was in so like my contractions were just getting worse. Like I was in like so much pain. It was really uncomfortable. And like I started like vocalizing like through my contractions, and then I started vomiting like a lot. And it was not fun. Like I was vomiting because I was in like so much pain. It was not fun. I woke Zach up. I was like, I just need your help. Like I was like I knew that the baby was coming, which was awesome, but like I was so uncomfortable, like honestly, like. But I knew that there was like a light at the end of the tunnel. Like obviously I'm not going to be in labor for forever. Even though my labor did technically start the day before, it was like mild. It wasn't painful or anything like that. So yeah, we ended up calling the midwife again. Like I was on the floor, like I had my exercise ball, I had like pillows all around me. Like I was changing position every time I had a contraction because I was so uncomfortable. I was like wanting to die. It was really uncomfortable. I also originally went in this wanting a natural birth, but I was open to the idea of medication because I was like, being a first-time mom, I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna feel like and how painful this is gonna be. I thought I had a high pain tolerance. Like, no. You don't have a high pain tolerance until you've gone through labor. Once you've gone through labor, it's like anything is fine. You stub that baby toe, that usually hurts like crazy. You're fine now. Doesn't even phase you. But labor, seriously, that was like the worst pain I've ever had. Sorry to scare you. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just being honest. For me, like it was a scary experience. I've never really had like any surgeries or any like major like kind of health things go on with myself. So yeah, it was a scary experience. I guess it was more like traumatizing for me and for Zach just because it was not as we planned. Like everything just happened so quickly towards the end that like we weren't ready for it. Like we were ready to have the baby, like we were waiting for her, but we were not prepared to have her at home. Like just the whole situation was scary. And I mean, at the end of the day, everybody was healthy and happy, but it was, at first it was like really scary. So we called my midwife again, and what she ended up doing was we went to the hospital with her. She came by and checked me. I was only 2 centimeters. For people who don't know what like it means when they check you, like the centimeters, essentially your cervix goes from a 0 to a 10. So 0 is being closed, 10 is when the baby is like right there ready to go. So she checked me. I was only 2 centimeters, so that kind of sucked. She told me not to be discouraged because the baby was really low. But, like honestly, I was so out of it at that point that I was just like, I don't even care. Like I know that eventually I will like progress. So we ended up going to the hospital. She gave me a shot of morphine and Gravol because I was still vomiting and the pain was like too much for me to sleep through. If I didn't sleep through the night, I wouldn't have been able to probably give birth the next day because it was so, like I was so exhausted just from the pain, and it's like I need the sleep. I knew I needed the sleep, and that's why I was totally okay with the medication. I was like, oh my god, give it to me. Like I don't care. As soon as like my active labor started, I was just like, I really wanted an epidural because it hurt way more than I thought it was going to be. So I was like, I kept asking my wife, can we go to the hospital? When can I have my epidural? The morphine was kind of nice. I am not really a type of person who likes to feel like kind of out of control of their body. I like to be like in control. I was a little worried that the morphine would do that, but like at that point I didn't care. That took a while to make me feel better, but I did feel a lot better. It made me feel like a teeny bit loopy, but it wasn't bad because like I just literally just went like right to bed when I got home. And I was actually able to get some sleep. It was amazing. So I woke up the next day still having contractions, of course. Well, not of course, but I still was having contractions, which was good, because that means a baby's coming. Called the midwife again, told her what's up. She came by, she hung out with us, and like at this point, like my labor started to get really intense. Like towards the afternoon, like it was intense. My baby was also posterior, so she was like turned the wrong way. So she had me kind of like downward dog like yoga position, and like she had me like sway my hips every contraction, which sucked because I did not want to move. Like every time I had a contraction I just wanted to like tense up and like I don't know, like I understand why people are rude during labor. I tried to be like polite, as polite as I could, because I felt bad. I didn't want to yell at anybody. I remember as soon as Quinn came out, I was like, I'm so sorry if I was rude to anybody, because I just really didn't want to be mean. I'm sorry if I was. Apparently I was very polite though, which is good, I guess. Yeah, so that day, the midwife, she hooked me up to an IV because I was so dehydrated. I just needed some fluids. In between contractions, Zach was giving me sips of coconut water and normal water. Anyway, so the midwife checked me before she left and I was at 4 centimeters, so still not fully dilated, not even halfway there. Like, awesome. Oh, I just wanted it to be over. I wanted to go to the hospital, get my epidural, but I also did not want to go in the car because the night before, driving in the car while like in labor sucked. So we were going to meet the midwife at the hospital, I think in like 2 hours from that time, and this is all kind of a blur to me because I was in so much pain that I was just kind of like out of it. Like your body just takes over, your mind is not there. I mean, this is like a natural process, right? So your body just kind of knows what to do, and I just kind of let it do what it was doing. Not that you can really stop what it's doing, but anyways, so my midwife left. 2 hours passed, and I just got up to go to the bathroom before we left, and as soon as I got up I felt the baby enter my birth canal. So keep in mind, Zach and I are at home alone right now. The midwife has gone. We also live in the middle of freaking nowhere, so we're like far away. Another thing to keep in mind, our cell service sucks up here. It is not good. At the time when I gave birth, we did not have a home phone. We just had my cell phone and Zach's cell phone, and like literally calls would drop like every 5 minutes. Awesome. So I feel the baby enter my birth canal, and like I sitting on the toilet. I sit on the toilet, and a lot of my like active labor takes place on the toilet, just like a forewarning. So I'm gonna be talking about me being on the toilet a lot. So I get to the toilet and I yell at Zach. I'm like, babe. It was probably more dramatic than that. I don't know. Anyways, and he like comes running over, and I'm like, you need to call 911. I was like, the baby is coming. Like I can feel her. And Zach's like, oh my God. Zach starts like freaking out. Like he's having like 800 anxiety attacks. Meanwhile, I'm like screaming on the toilet. Like my body started involuntarily pushing the baby out, and I'm like freaking out. Like, oh my God. Okay. Like I literally wanted to get off the toilet, sit on the bathroom floor, and push the baby out. Like my body was right there. It was ready to go. Like I said, I was just letting my body do what it's doing. But the 911 operator tells Zach that he has to like look between my legs to see like, is the baby there? Is there blood everywhere? Like, oh my God. So Zach's like, I have to look. And Zach looks and he's like, I don't know what I'm looking for. And so the 911 operator tells me like I have to feel for the head, and like I felt, and I was like, oh my God. She was like right there. Like she was ready to go. She was like ready to come out. She was ready to enter the world. She was on time, on her due date. She was just ready, you guys. So that was really scary, and the 911 operator told Zach to have me physically hold the baby in with a washcloth. So I was holding the baby in, and while my body's involuntarily pushing her out. Because Zach has 911 operator on one phone, and then he has the midwife on the other phone, and like they're talking through the phone, so they're like arguing about like transporting me because my midwife didn't want to transport me because it's dangerous to transport me because we live so far away. I'd be giving birth essentially on a highway. That's not safe. Midwives are trained to do this. They do tons and tons of home births, so I was fine to have the baby at home. I had no like health risks like ahead of time. Like I had a very healthy pregnancy, like healthy overall. So they're like arguing. That's one thing I do remember. They're arguing over the phone, which I thought was, see, I think it's funny. Like now, Zach thinks it's not funny, like obviously, because it was like so stressful. He's like holding two phones. And he's like, what? Like, what do I even do? Like they're just arguing. So, and then I remember like hearing sirens, and that was like the firemen. So we had, I think it was 2 firemen. They came in the condo building. Like I don't even remember this. Like I barely remember any of this because like you know, your body is just like taking over completely. You were just ready to go. And like I don't even remember him leaving. Zach went to go let them in. They hooked me up to like oxygen. They did like a finger monitor. Like everything's like, it's very like chaotic right now. It's scary. Like the time between like I felt the baby enter the birth canal and the time that the fireman got there was like really anxiety inducing because I was really freaked out. Like I didn't want Zach to have to deliver the baby. I didn't want anything to go wrong when there's, you know, like no health professionals there. Like I was worried about the baby. I was worried about myself. I was worried about Zach. Like it was scary. And obviously Zach was very worried about me and very worried about the baby. But as soon as like the firemen got there, like I felt like more relieved because at least there's somebody there to like help us who have at least some like medical training. Obviously I don't have medical training. Zach's an electrician. He has no medical training. Like I felt so much better. And then like right after that the EMTs got there. I believe there was 3 of them, including a trainee. She was super nice, and I feel bad because she was like the only person other than Zach that I got mean to Zach like once, and that was when they were putting the needle in my hand, because he's afraid of needles. So I was like having contractions, trying to stay still while they're putting like a needle in my hand, which is a lot harder than you think, like seriously. So I like yelled at him to get out of the room. I was like, just go if you can't handle it, and he left anyways. I feel bad about that. But yeah, she was giving me nitrous oxide, like the laughing gas, and I like breathed it in, and I was like, ugh, I don't like it. I was like, I don't want it anymore. And she was like, Katie, it'll help you feel better. I was like, no, I don't want it. Like that's the only other time like I got mad. I think they moved me like to the toilet again. Like seriously, I was like on the toilet, off the toilet, on the toilet, off the toilet. Like it was really annoying because like when you're in that much pain and like there's so much pressure, like you don't want to walk around. Like you just want to like push the baby out. That's all you want to do. You want to get that thing out. Anyways, so we had all these EMTs there. They kind of took over from the like the firefighters, and then the midwives got there. Whew, that was a relief. They moved me to the toilet again, and they're listening to the baby's heartbeat and everything like that. And they're like, Kate, do you have a plastic sheet? And Zach's like, no, because we didn't prepare for this. And he's like thinking. And he's like, oh my God, we have a vinyl shower curtain in our second bathroom. So Zach runs into the other bathroom. He starts undoing the shower curtain, like loop by loop. And he hears me start having a contraction. So I'm like screaming on the toilet in the other bathroom. And he hears me having a contraction. And he's like, he just takes the shower curtain, just rips it down like a freaking badass, puts it on the bed. And as soon as he comes out of the bathroom, there's like a firefighter on his laptop. And he's like looking at Zach like, are you okay? So like Zach's like freaking out. Like, so we put that on the bed, and then they have me like come back to the bed. And I remember they like wanted me to change positions, and like I really didn't want to be rude. Like seriously, I don't like being rude to people. So they were like, okay, Katie, can you roll onto your side? And I was like, no, I can't do that right now. Please, no, thank you, thank you. And like it was funny because I was like, please and thank you. Well, I was like having contractions. Use your manners. Plus, like my midwives are so lovely. I didn't, you know, I know they're used to it, but like I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't want to make anybody, I don't want to yell at anybody. Anyways, I mean, I yelled at people, but not like, I wasn't being rude. So yeah, they moved me back to the bed. I labored for a little bit more on my side to kind of, I had a cervical lip. I was like 9.5 centimeters. They checked me again, 9.5 centimeters. I had a cervical lip, and they were trying to kind of get rid of that. So they had me like lay on my side because sometimes that helps, which it did. And then they took me to the toilet again, sitting on the toilet. And I think it was at this point I got my bloody show, which by the way is disgusting. Like seriously, like I knew it was gross, but like I was not prepared for that. Like, ew, no. Ugh. Ugh. And I'm like asking the midwife again. I'm like, can I please push? Can I push? And she like, and Zach was there with me, and they like both kind of like peek between my legs, like while I'm sitting on the toilet, and they're like, ooh, yep. I can hear like the panic in my midwife's voice. Like she's trying not to freak me out or be panic about it. But she's like, oh, yep, let's move you back to the bed. So I mean, like it's not very far. Like, I don't know, where's my door? Oh, here. So that room right there is like our ensuite bathroom. So that's like the bathroom that I was in, and it's like literally like the people upstairs are like running around on my head. Anyways, so our bathroom's right there. So it was like a super short walk. But they got me back to the bed, and I finally was able to start pushing. And I remember I asked for laughing gas again. Sorry, I actually asked for laughing gas before they moved me to the toilet, before I started pushing, and they gave it to me, and I was like, like just like, oh my god. Like just because I was in so much pain, it didn't really help though. Like it just made me feel loopy, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be like there. I wanted to be present. I wanted to be in control of my body while I was giving birth. I wanted to be able to hold my baby as soon as she came out, even though like, you know, the effects don't last very long, but I still didn't like the way it made me feel. Like I said earlier, I'm a type of person who likes to be in control of their body, so it was a little freaky for me. I didn't like it, but the way I was huffing on it, you probably would have thought that I liked it a lot. Yeah, so they finally let me push, and what I'd felt earlier when they asked me if I could feel the baby's head was actually my bag of waters, because it still hadn't broken. And when Zach and the midwife looked between my legs when I was on the toilet earlier, they thought they saw like a whole bunch of hair, but what it was actually my bag of waters. But you could like see, I guess you could see like the baby's head through it, which is so weird to think about. But yeah, so they moved me to the bed. I started pushing, and my water broke while I was pushing. I only pushed for like half an hour, and she came out. There was like a point in time where the baby's heartbeat was starting to drop, and it was scary, honestly. Like I was scared for the baby, and I was scared for myself, and so I just like pushed as hard as I could. Like I didn't care, because you know, if you push a little bit slower, usually you won't like tear, like when the baby's head is coming out, if you push slower and kind of like ease into it. But like I was freaked out. Like I didn't care if I tore or anything like that. I was just like pushing her out, like with all that I had. I was just trying to get that baby out. As soon as she came out though, like the relief was amazing. And they put her on my chest, and it was like a crazy experience. Like I don't even know how to explain it. It was weird, because it's like, okay, this human that you grew and was inside of you for 9 months is like literally like right here, and they're their own person, but they're made up of like you and your significant other. And it's so weird. She came out looking so much like her dad, and I really thought she was going to be super pale like me, with like blonde hair, because I'm very fair. I have freckles. When I was born, I was like very bald, but she had like a crap ton of like dark hair, which Zach had when he was born, and she just looked like him so much. It took a while for me to get to know her. Like it takes a couple of days. It took me a couple of days to be able to like look at her and recognize like, this is my baby. I definitely had like the maternal instinct to take care of her and love her, but I'm not one of those moms who like looked at their baby and like immediately was like so in love with her. Like I cared about her, but like I was still getting used to her. I was still learning who she was. But as soon as I learned who she was, like I fell so in love with her, and I love her so much. We both love her so much. She's an amazing, amazing baby, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. After I had her, I felt so much better. Everything was better. I was walking around like right after birth. It was amazing. I felt 110% better. All of like the pain and discomfort that I had during pregnancy was gone, with the exception of I have a numb spot on my leg, which still is there. I'm hoping maybe it'll go away, but the chances are that it probably won't. She was 7 pounds, 13 ounces, 21.5 inches long. Freaking long baby. I'm tall, but she was still very long, and it was uncomfortable. Zach's tall too. Zach's like 6'2", so no wonder she's long. I guess that's it mostly for like our home birth. Like it was scary, and it was like last minute emergency, but you know what, at the end of the day, everybody was healthy. I'm so grateful for all the people who helped us, especially for my midwives. Not only did they help us during birth, obviously, and before birth, they also provided like a lot of mental like emotional support for me. Most women do have experiences with like extreme hormonal changes after birth, which can cause like mood swings, etc. And I did have my struggles with that. I will make another video talking about my struggles with like postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression and any like kind of feelings I had postpartum, because it is very normal and a lot of people don't talk about it, but you really should. That's kind of the only way to get through it, is to be open about it, be open to your partner, be open to healthcare professionals, because otherwise it's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna build and build and build. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't boring, even though I don't think it's boring, because it was like a very exciting, a very exciting experience. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Hey, Koopa.